Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. A lot of news today about tomorrow's meeting between Putin and Trump. Why? Because it reaches an apex, a maximum, a top of the situation, a crescendo. And that is Donald Trump will meet Putin so far tomorrow on the 15th, if you remember, in Anchorage, in a military base. I have here a few articles with the exact hour the meeting will start between the two, who is going to be in the room, and what will be the schedule, what will be the chronology of events according to the Russians for tomorrow, set for tomorrow. That is the time these guys will meet, who's going to be in the room, who's going to be with Putin in Anchorage, and Trump already starts, I think, on the wrong foot. And that is, he threatens Russia again. So, if you remember, Russia told and acted in a violent way, let's put it this way, whenever it was threatened. It says, okay, well, threats do not work with Russia. Trump warns Putin ahead of the summit. Have you heard Putin warning Trump? And why is that? You think is impotence, stupidity, good taste? What is it? So let's start first with Russia Today revealing who's going to be in the room and what will be the schedule tomorrow. So this is from the 14th of August 2025. Kremlin reveals details of Putin-Trump summit. The Alska talks will focus on a broad range of issues and will be followed by a joint press conference. Kremlin aide Yuri Ushakov has said he is also going to join Putin on this trip. The summit between Russian President Vladimir Putin and US counterpart Papa will focus not only on the Ukraine conflict but on a broader security agenda and involve several top Russian officials. So the Russians do not come narrow-minded, they come with what they think, let's solve the problem, a broader security agenda, not only Ukraine. Ukraine is just a, a symptom right here. Speaking to reporters on Thursday, Ushakov said that final preparations were underway for the meeting on Friday, which will take place at joint base Elmendorf-Richardson in Anchorage, Alaska. Where is that located? Don't worry, we are going to show you. So obviously Alaska is right here. We're going to go to Anchorage right here. I'm going to show you the military base, which is a little bit north of Anchorage. It's right here. This is the military base right there, where these guys will meet in one of these buildings, I'm presuming. I don't know exactly. They are all small buildings. There are no such big buildings, but it's better to be in small buildings, for the strike purposes. It's always good. This is a terminal, Jabag Juba, Jugo Juga. These are small, but nevertheless, you can go and have a walk in the park right here if you really need to have a serious conversation. Given the short notice for the summit, everything is being done in an intensive mode, including tackling several technical issues, including visa-related matters. By the way, these guys lifted the sanctions on Putin and others to visit the United States of America. Why? For the reason I explained very, very clearly in the past. These guys, there's always rules, but always the rules could be, avoided, violated, however you want to call it. In any company where you worked or you work, there are certain rules and procedures. You will always find out that if the management wants to violate any of the rules that you should never violate, they could do it. And they will say, we need it because it's a special circumstance. And that means we necessitate to do this. The same here. Everything is possible. Nothing changed with Putin. Putin is still the war criminal and the bad dude, remember? And everybody around him. Nothing changed. But they just said, we're going to let him come. Well, flexibility. It's only among them. Ushakov said summit will begin at approximately 11:30 a.m. local time. So that's 19:30 GMT, right? That's 7 p.m. GMT, with one-on-one conversation between Putin and Trump, accompanied by interpreters. That's all, one-on-one, plus the interpreters, and about, 24 other secret services listening to the conversation. All right, now this is very bad. I will make another video in a few minutes. The Americans are scared. The media operatives, the other interests, are scared to leave, reportedly, they said it. They're afraid to leave Trump in the same room with Putin. But Putin is stupid. Putin is reacting, using pathos, not logos. But these guys are afraid to leave this great negotiator with Putin in the same room. It happened in Helsinki, remember? And they're all scared what the hell happened when they came out. Oh, well, maybe reason beat passion. The Kremlin aide noted the very high level of the Russian delegations. Well, I jumped here. And I'm quoting, after this meeting one-on-one, then there will be negotiations in the format of delegations. And these negotiations will continue over a working lunch. So first then we'll meet the baboons, and then we're going to be the other baboons, the little baboons, negotiations. I will make a video later today where I will give you what the Americans are prepared to negotiate and how they're going to say, this is what we want, this is what you should do. But they don't listen to what the other side wants. This is very unproductive, to be, mild. I'll use euphemisms. All right, and then the Kremlin aide noted the very high level of Russian delegation, which he said would include Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, excellent, Ushakov himself, Defense Minister Andrei Belousov, Finance Minister Anton Siluanov, and Special Presidential Representative for Investment and Economic Cooperation with foreign countries Kirill Dmitriev, who has been a key figure in the Ukraine settlement process. So what do we have so far? We have the brains right here, the geopolitical guy, which is obviously the top diplomat. I give him a 10. Ushakov, I don't know the guy too much to talk about him. Defense Minister, that means the military will be represented. The money will be represented over there. And then you have the industries right here with Dmitriev. So you got the money, obviously, you got the military, you got the brains, the negotiators, and you got the balls, which is Putin. What are the other guys going to bring? Probably there's going to be, certainly it's going to be Trump, then it's going to be Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, then probably it's going to be the Commerce, Lupkin, Zelensky Stein. He needs to be over there to keep an eye on everybody. Everybody does what they're supposed to. And I don't know, maybe I don't know if it's going to be the defense. Hexeth could be over there. Vice President could be over there. All these guys I expect to be. They don't mention who's going to be. And it's not over. In addition to the presidents, 5 members from each delegation will participate in negotiations. 5. Of course, a group of experts will also be nearby. So these are the main ones that they mention here, plus a group of experts will also be nearby. Regarding the experts, when they're gonna get serious about things. Regarding the agenda, it is obvious the central issue in the talks will be the Ukraine conflict, he said. That broader objectives of ensuring peace and security will also be addressed, as well as current and most acute international and regional issues. There will also be an exchange of views regarding the future development of bilateral cooperation, including in trade and economic spheres. I have some fantastic news in another video after this, where Trump comes and says, supposedly, I think there's a Telegraph reporting this, a British newspaper, reports that Trump offers Putin access to Alaska's natural resources. Like Russia needs more? I think it's the other way around. But I will make that video later with the Americans' demands. Ushakov added that such ties have enormous and unfortunately still untapped potential. Correct. And there's going to be a joint press conference after the talks. Yeah, they will not. Ushakov confirmed that Putin and Trump will not only deliver a short opening statement, but also hold a joint press conference after the talks. Would depend on how the discussions goes, he said, the durations of the talks, and confirmed the delegation will return to Russia immediately after the negotiations conclude. Got that? Next one, the same thing from Sputnik. They will do the same thing. Everything will be again tomorrow, August 15, around 11:30, the same. All right, it's expected to beginning with a president meeting, a few words, say a few words in the same. The composition of the U.S. delegation that will take part in the summit is already known. However, it will be more appropriate to wait for an official announcement from the American partners. Excelente. Next, Kremlin reveals time and Trump Putin meeting and who will join Putin in Alaska. It's the same information here. So it's 10:30 p.m. Kiev time. I think that's also Moscow time. All right, if not, add an hour. Okay. What else is right here? They don't tell us. They don't tell us who will join. All right. The White House said the initiative to all meetings between Trump during special had come from the Russian side. All right. The initiative. Well, that's what they say. The other ones did not say anything. We'll find out. So, and then Bloomberg. Trump issues warning to Putin after preparation with Europe. So these guys are already, this is from August 14th. So it's from today, Thursday at 6 a.m. So he already is warning Putin. Next, Trump warns of very severe consequences if Putin doesn't agree to end the war. So the Americans already come to these meetings in a state of dictating. Well, are these guys idiots? The whole reason why the main reason, let's put it this way, why the Russians are right now in Ukraine is because the West tried to impose something on Russia, and Russia says, this is the red line. You don't cross it. If you cross that, we're going to smack you. That has been going for 3 years and a half, the smackdown. And this guy, they still come. These are delusional. I mean, really, did you hear Putin threatening these guys or warning them? Like, for instance, if you do not agree with what we say, we're going to destroy you, or we're going to do this to you, we're going to harm you. Have you heard him once telling these guys? What's going on with it? These guys, now I will tell you this. I have a very, I don't want to say soft spot on this one, but I'm very sensitive to this kind of behavior. I tell you why. When I came, in my childhood, I had a certain kind of upbringing at home from my mom, to be more precise, and at school from the teachers, and it worked the same way, and it involved physical violence. It did not involve reason. Most of the time, I would say 98 to 99% of the time, it was no reason. It was you do this or you get a smack. And yeah, I got a lot of smacks. Is it obvious now? Okay, it tells a lot of things. How do you call it? Now it makes sense. Yes, a lot of smacks. Not because I didn't deserve to be reared or sanctioned or punished, but it was very, very, in their mind, very effective. But with time, when I grew, I understood that this kind of, upbringing, or this kind of methods of, always escapes this word, methods of education, that's how we call it, do not work on the second that you're going to say, okay, this guy's going to do what you tell him, but the guy will build resentment. Therefore, it's not working. The child or the person needs to understand reasons, not threats. With threats, you're going to get the opposite feeling, from me at least. I know right now these guys have all kind of diagnostics for this. Why? Because they need to sell pills. Therefore, there's going to be an oppositional disorder, blah, 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 all kind of things. But I'm telling you that I'm very, very irritated. It's like my skin goes like this when I hear this kind of, you do what I tell you, or I will hurt you. For me, and in life, when I, outside of the household, I used to, for something like this, I used to fight all the time. And then I regulated my feelings, not my feelings, my behaviors. The feelings are still there. The behavior with society by training. I trained myself not to react physically or sometimes verbally, but the feeling is there of the same. When I hear these guys threatening all the time, the Russians, and remember the Russians think, what possibly can go through these guys' mind threatening us? Who do they think we are? Do they really think we are baboons? Or this is just their self, when you have, I'm gonna beat this guy. Yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna beat this guy. I'm gonna beat. Is self-empowerment delusional? Building fake or false, delusional self-esteem? Is that what it is? Is this how you negotiate? Yes, that's how they negotiate. Well, I have about 10 articles ready after this to tell you about how Trump comes prepared to talk to Putin, and it's all about this. Some baboonish demands and orders, and some of them are good, some of them are bad, and how the Europeans think that they have unity and they will destroy now the Russians. Have you been seeing what has been happening for the past 3 years and a half? These guys think that they have the upper hand, and I don't understand why they think they have the upper hand. The facts are there. Reality is there. They do not have the upper hand. I'm not saying the Russians are way ahead of these guys, but still, as I said, delusion, the level of delusion for this, I'm going to use delusion 1,000 times, is so great that is your fake interpretation of reality is so far remoted from reality. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's like you have a person, let's say, with a wheelchair, cannot walk, saying that, I'm going to go and I'm going to win the Olympics in, 100-meter track and field. I mean, this is how delusional, far from reality these guys are. They're not even on top, and they talk as if they already won, and like they're in charge. This crazy. Now, I don't think that Trump will behave like that with Putin, because there's not going to come anything out of it. Threats do not work with Russia. Why? Too big, too strong now. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.